again, everyone, and welcome back to the Dog Show Drive with Wayne and Will. I'm Wayne Cavanaugh.
You are Wayne Cavanaugh, and I'm Will Alexander.
Yes, you are, young man. And this week we're going to talk about Orlando, of course, the seminars at Orlando and all those seminars and what it takes. Pro Plan, what's going on there, and all the support we have from our exhibitors and breeders and friends right here. Oh, and also things that make us sneeze. All that and more right here on the Dog Show Drive. Hey there, bud. How you doing up there?
I'm good, Wayne. How's it going down there?
I'm good. Just watching the Connor Bedard show down here.
Yeah, Connor
Watching
Bedard.
that. Did you see a snipe on the break on the overtime goal?
Shootout?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that was beautiful. Oh, hi, ladies and gentlemen, the Dog Show Drive right here with Wayne and Will. Yeah, a lot coming up. Good hockey stuff too. If you haven't seen this Connor, you got to
Connor Bedard, Corey Perry, and all that nonsense going on in Chicago.
I finally was liking Corey Perry. Finally, after all these years. No, not so much.
You're not supposed to like Corey Perry. He's a villain, and that's the role he plays.
I know, but he was a good villain when he was out there for Connor. He was a good villain. We liked him.
Well, exactly. It's like Brad Marchand. If he's not on your team, you don't want to see his face.
You really don't. Anyway, there's a dog thing too. We have a lot of things going on this week, and Will and I were talking earlier about absentees at a show. Go ahead, talk about that. Will, about
I was at a show this weekend in Canada, and we had a huge absentee issue last week. I think almost 100 dogs a day. And it was mostly due to people being sick.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it was mostly handlers that have been to a lot of shows, because that's how you got the big number of dogs being absent, because handlers just didn't go because they were sick. So
yeah, and everybody's I thought Will was going to tell us that the canine virus, whatever's going around, was the issue, but it's the human thing. And
I didn't hear any dogs issues last weekend. It's obviously out there, you keep hearing about it, but it's out there every year. So I don't know,
It's, the COVID thing's still going around, and I've got all of a sudden a little breakout here in Michigan where I am. So it keeps coming.
I didn't feel well this week. I tested myself,
Yeah. Did you pass?
I passed.
A plus?
Not quite A plus,
If you grade in your own paper, you can always do it. Anyway, the virus thing. I know Will's going to be talking to Valeria Ricard about this, and I hope I'll look forward to that. But this is a thing that it always goes around, right? Every year we get these respiratory illnesses in dogs, be it kennel cough, whatever. And there's a great article in the New Yorker or Newsweek a couple of days ago. Where vets were saying, hey,
I think you said New Yorker, though.
Yeah, it goes around every year. This one's a little worse, but don't lose your mind. Just don't go to the dog parks and try to keep your head. Well, we love to sensationalize anything these days, especially anything that might be viral since COVID, right? Every journal is all of a sudden Armageddon. So I'm not discounting this at all. I'm just saying keep it in perspective. And we haven't not yet, and we could, heard of any breakouts at shows. And there have been no shows where people are saying, well, it certainly happened to the Golden Retriever National last year, where everyone came home sick, but not yet at the current clusters. So I hope that continues. Will's got it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But in the fall, we tend to, no matter where we are, we have an outbreak of kennel cough, and you're always watching for it. And one year I had to skip the Westminster because I had one dog with kennel cough, and but I kenneled, I housed them all, so I just opted out the whole weekend.
Well, I think that's important. Well, I hope that there's not somebody heading down to Orlando going, well, he's a little sick, a little cough. But, I really need to be number 17. Gosh, now the two of us are going to have that. Goodness gracious.
Like an apocalyptic podcast. This might be our last podcast, people, but we're trying our best.
Jeez. But yeah, it's, I just hope that people, the minute they hear it, will get out of Dodge and leave and not worry about things, because what the last thing we need is someone getting sick. And when you think about it, these dogs come from, well, not only all over the United States, but all over the world. And they don't need to bring it back to other parts and spread it. Typically, dog viruses are local in nature because dogs don't travel like humans do, right? Except show dogs. So that's the real catch. Because typical dogs don't leave the neighborhood, so they're not going to spread it from town to town, unless they go to dog parks and things. And still, that's regional. They don't leave that area.
Yeah,
but this is different. This is different. So
when we all get together like this in this kind of event, you're going to have people from, like you said, all walks of life. And it could be trouble if some dog is sick. So
yeah, well, we'll find out from experts and stop reading the internet and Facebook about it.
I was just going to try Chat GPT and see what they had to say about it.
The same thing I said last week. That's true. Just ask me. I'm the one who writes it all for them. So yeah, that was so funny when you said that last week. Anyway, we are all headed to Orlando, and there may
I'm not.
I know, poor Will. And there may be absentees there. We'll see, and it could be both again. Will, it could be human as well, because there are things going around, and COVID's back, in different forms. There's all viruses, not just COVID. I had a cold and cough for 3 weeks. I couldn't shake, and I didn't feel terribly bad. I just was lethargic and coughed and couldn't sleep real well.
But so we're guys, we've worked through that.
We worked through it. Will, broken arm,
the man flu. No one understands the man flu. How hard that could be on us, and we still work through it.
Soldier through. We do. Right. That's the kind of guys we are. Yeah. Honey, please bring me some tea. Oh.
And put some honey in it.
Anyway, so Orlando should be interesting to see what kind of absentees they get. Now, with that said, if 20% are absent, it's still a big dog show.
Oh my God, yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Interestingly, I was looking through, and I didn't have time to do this, but I wanted to just take at least one group and go through, because, boy, there are very few class dogs in most breeds, even though there are 20 specials.
Really?
Yeah. Setters especially. I noticed that. Then I peeked through. Yeah, a lot of breeds, not all, but a lot of breeds have way more specials than class dogs.
Yeah. Unless they have a specialty attached to them. That's what I found when I was there. If there was a specialty on the Friday, we got good class dog entries, but we never get good class dog entries in Irish setters ever.
I know, it's weird. But the other thing is, I wonder if that goes back to people with class dogs, the 1 dog, 2 dog owners aren't going to spend money to go to Orlando. And so you'll get the handler's dog, which are typically specials, and maybe a class dog or 2. But time will tell. We'll see. I hope it's all wonderful.
When do you leave? When do you go?
I leave Monday because I judge Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I'll leave Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday judging. Friday's a day off except for specialties. I have some seminars. Thursday night is a Canine Health Foundation gala, I think they call it. Bank party, whatever. That's the only one I'm going to. And then
that's Eddie's, right?
Got to save the energy and go for Eddie. Got to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is Eddie Zook we're talking about, and Fran Smith, who we all
have to say Eddie Zook. It's almost like Cher.
Eddie. Well, there was well, never mind. Anyway, Eddie has it also organized. You get emails, you get all.
Oh my gosh, he's
on top of it. He is so organized. I have tremendous envy for his organizational skills. And then, and I'll do that on Thursday night because there's no judging on Friday, right? Not for me. And there'll be seminars. I just don't like doing the big things before the night before. I need to be in bed at 8:30, Will.
Oh, I know it, man. I know it.
So there are long days there, and you got to pace yourself. And then Saturday is gun dogs, and Sunday's other stuff. So I'm going to stay for Saturday, but not for Sunday. I want to get home. It's six nights away.
It's hard. When I used to do it every year as a handler, it's hard to book that many days away right before the holidays
It is.
because like holidays not going to wait for you. You know, you got to get home and you can buy all the stuff you want on the way down at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Grocery shopping, Cracker Barrel.
My mother got kind of sick of grits. Here, look, southern grits, Mom. It was great the first couple of times. Oh, where's my grits? Another bag of grits. That's great.
We're using it to put wallpaper up now. Yeah. I do like grits though. Anyway, it'll be a big week and we'll see what's going on with humans and dogs. And I hope everyone's healthy and comes home from it healthy, right? The last thing you want to do is come home sick for the holidays and all that stuff.
No matter what, I hate to say it, no matter what, those kind of events, there is something floating around that, and also your adrenaline is so pumped up going to those events. When you leave and your body figures out that it's over, you get sick.
You do. It's true.
You get sick.
After the garden every year.
Yeah, you get sick. It's just
this is a long one too. And you've got 5, 6, 7 days to in a big building full of people carrying their local germs around. So yeah.
Local germs. You brought your local germs with you.
Isn't this uplifting, everyone? So far, these great dog shows coming up, and all we can talk about is who's going to get sick. there's that, I don't know. Anyway, we had there was a thing that I wanted to mention. You've probably seen these Purina posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. It's nothing that's required of anyone. It's just people showing support for Purina because it was a little tiny blip with a little small shipment and a few dogs. And that, of course, gets everybody up and up.
It's out of hand. And so it's like I've used ProPlan pretty well my entire professional career.
Yep. Yep. Our pointers would live to 15, 16, and everyone would wonder what we did. Well, a lot of it was just good breeding, right? And I remember some handlers saying, "What are you putting on your black and white dogs to get that shine?" That's nothing but ProPlan. It's all we fed, and it's all we ever fed, and it's all we'll ever feed. It's when you think about the recalls of other dog food companies, they have so many, especially with the small batch companies. There's quite a few because they don't have that kind of quality control. So we found anyway, the far fewer recalls and far better stuff. Everybody's going to have their recalls and their foibles.
Oh, exactly. And then
but overall,
jumps on it and it just gets out of hand. And I'm glad that the support is jumping up from all the dog community about ProPlan because, they have been there for us for so long. And
they are. I mean, they have been a giant supporter of dog shows for a very, very long time. And I think we all know that there are more dogs that aren't show dogs than there are dogs. When you're selling dog food, it'd be easier to market to the golden doodles, right?
Right.
So we really appreciate their support. And I think that's a lot of the posts are picking up on that as well. So all's good there in Purina land. Yeah. And of course, Royal Canin next weekend in Orlando is a supporter too. So yeah, we want to get them all in there. So
it's just important that they do support us. So
it is. You can't afford to put on these big shows without these sponsors.
All the way back to Bill Jack.
Yeah. How about Kennel Biscuit? You want to go
Kennel
really
Biscuit.
Gosh, that stuff. I'll never forget. It smelled so good because they baked it, right?
They used to mix it in the big mixing bowl, and my old boss, Gary McDonald, would put hot water on it. It smelled like we were cooking in the setup.
Now the stuff smells like dead animals and grease. Is what you wash your hands and you pour a bowl. Now this thing, but Kennel Biscuit was great. Of course, the stools were 50 miles large. They were just so inefficient the food was, but we didn't care. And then when I worked for Bob and Jane, of course, we had to use stuffed balls, and stuffed balls are only good when you make them out of Kennel Biscuit. That was the stuff. And Janie was thrifty, so if the stuffed balls came back up,
it went back down.
So my thoughts of Kennel Biscuit are Yeah, I've got different sensory memories from that.
See, later on in my Bill Jack, what we use to make stuffed balls, because it makes great stuffed balls, Bill Jack.
Yeah, yeah, they were similar, a little inconsistency. So one of the big things that people go to Orlando for, and should, are seminars, and they start Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I think you can do 2 or 3 a day. I think I did 3 one, maybe not. I don't know, 2 or 3 a day, all those days. And you're going to really be able to see uh, great seminars and not so good seminars.
Right.
But if you listen to who's in the room and you know people, and I hope you would know people that are knowledgeable that happen to be in your seminar, you can get them aside later and go, what do you think about what they said about this? Well, we'll have a different opinion and discussion. And that's where the learning
really expound on it for you. So
right. That's where learning comes in. And some of these things are so difficult to put together. And the AKC does an incredible job of getting it not only organized, and Inez is a super job, making sure all your badges are ready and all the gear, and you've got your tickets ahead of time and you've paid. And by the way, this is a joint effort with the DJAA, right?
Is that what it's down there? Dog Judges Association of America?
Yeah, which I am a proud member. It's a joint effort. So it's not just the AKC, because it does take a village, and it's a lot of work ahead of time. It's a lot of work when you're there. I know Rick and a bunch of guys they're running around helping out with the clipboards, and all the guys from ADJJ. Gosh, I'll never get abbreviations correct. American Dog Show Judge Association. They're in it. They're in it, and it makes it's part of our. This is the theme.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
But it's really hard to put this all together. The difficult part, of course, is getting the dogs. You're allergic to dogs, aren't you?
I am, actually.
I am too. To get the dogs to show up, because it's hard to ask people. There was a breed, I don't know, last year or whatever, year before, a seminar I attended, where this woman drove all the way from Pennsylvania to Orlando with 4 dogs of a rare breed for us to see.
Oh, wow.
That's a big deal. And if people you're not going to get many of those people. So you'll request that some people do this. Then the judging schedule comes out. You're like, man, it's right before judging. We don't want to tire our dogs out. So they go grab a puppy or two that isn't ready for a seminar. It's not easy to get those dogs together. But it does matter to see is 3, 4, 6, 8, whatever they can bring for comparison purposes, not to each other, to the standard and to your head, but it's because there's so many different levels of moderate and whatever. By the way,
like when we did the seminar in Newfoundland, that woman that did the English setter, she did a fine job, but it came together when she brought her dogs in.
Absolutely. And the Pekingese too.
That was wonderful.
Great.
Yeah, David did a great job with that.
Oh man, when he put that bitch up on the table, I just looked and went, man, that's what I remember. Beautiful. So, but how many people in the audience wouldn't have that template, that background to look and go, wow, that's the one. That's having someone explaining why. And even at that, if you don't have an eye, you're never going to get it anyway. So people advance that shouldn't, and people advance that should, and people that should be judging won't even bother to try. And that's where we end up. There was a post about bad judging last week. Tired of it. And a lot of judges piled on and said, yeah, we're tired of it too. It's hard to say if it's better or worse than it used to be, because I remember as a kid, it wasn't all so great either.
Oh, no. But I do think, but I found that when I was younger, that the cream did rise to the top. Mm-hmm. That we didn't see the same ones that were making the same mistakes as much over and over again, where, now You have a kennel club, you're going to get more assignments, and I hate to see
Well,
things like that, but it's true.
takes us back to you have to be a multi-group judge to get assignments. Too many damn shows. You need too many multi-group judges. And that's that's the cycle. And I don't see anybody breaking it or trying to. So when you've got people rushing to get their groups, and they do, people play the system like you get this breed and you get that, and you go, what is it going to permit the now, and then you get that, and you can get 3 while you're doing that. I mean, man, is that what it's all about? And
Well,
if
I'll
it
tell you, I'm going to look it up right now because I just read today that John Wade got his all breed license.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Excellent.
And he explained how long it took him. And I want to find him here. There he is, John. View profile. This will be my first post on Facebook. I received notification from AKC that my last 7 sporting breeds were approved along with the sporting group, which now gives me approval as an all-breed judge. Starting with sanction matches in the late 50s to my first licensed show in Louisville in 1960, an amazing experience.
63 years.
Yeah.
63 years to be an all-breed judge.
Yeah. How about
Wow.
that? He was only 10 when he started, though.
Yeah. John a rep?
He was a rep for a while. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. And by the way, Frank Murphy, what a great choice for a rep, right?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
I think, the old knees, as we all know, the knees and hips and back go after a while. And he's done so much in the sport and always has been a straight shooter and a good guy and there to help anybody.
Yeah, a gentleman. Frank's been great.
Yeah, he'll be a wonderful rep. I'm not sure what region he's going to, but yeah, the announcement was just made a couple days ago, and I couldn't be any happier for him.
Oh, good. Congratulations, Frank, and congratulations, John.
Absolutely. John. God, 63 years. It's all it takes.
Yep. Nothing to it.
But it's going to be interesting. I wonder how long it takes the average new judge to get 3 groups. Not 63 years, Will. No, not even.
And I'm sure John had no aspirations of being an all-breed judge when he started, so he probably didn't push it. He probably took his time, learned what he wanted to learn the right way, and went from there. So,
and it wasn't like a cabbage patch doll shortage. You weren't rushing to get every breed possible. Right. He probably just wanted to get breeds that he enjoyed and felt comfortable with, and didn't need to run around getting CEUs. He waited until he knew what he was asking and then applied. I just got a call from somebody. Why aren't you provisional for anything anymore? Because I'm waiting to learn as much as I can for a next application. Well, when you're provisional, you can still apply for. I'm just, am I in a hurry? A little bit, because, I was in a situation where I had to start over, thanks to the whatevers. But anyway, I'm in no hurry really to get and I want to finish this group and more of the hound group, but after that,
I want to see you out there judging the sporting group.
Yeah, that'll come real soon. I hope another month. Well, after Orlando, I'll send my application, and so we'll see. But yeah, it's I don't know. Wouldn't you want to feel comfortable before you jumped in again? I don't know. Judge told me last week, you know what? This isn't really hard. You know about front angulation. You know about rear angulation. You know what top line's supposed to look like. You know what balance is supposed to look like. All you need is 3 or 4 finer points, and you can judge. They're not wrong.
But it's a certain level, that's all.
But my response was, how many people really know what a good front is, what a good hind quarter is, and what a good top line was, and what balance is, which all comes from your innate ability to see balance and symmetry. It's easy to say that if you know it and you can see it, that's fine. But there's evidently a lot of straight fronts, overdone behind, sloping top lines that win all the time. So maybe it's not as easy as summarizing it just like that. But you can get through.
Oh, yeah. It's been proven. So.
Yeah. Yeah, over and over and over again. But it'll be interesting to see in Orlando. It's always so much fun to watch and see how this goes, and to see how things progress, and what dogs get through, right?
I really wish I was, but I forgot that Andrew Brace was on the panel.
Eagles he's judging.
I know. I forgot that. I
Mm.
should have. I would have loved to have gone to see Andrew. I actually
Me too.
spoke to him this morning. Well, messaged him this morning about the on talk dog talk with Ante with Ginny Line
Yeah.
yesterday. So yeah, which I guess was a huge success,
Yeah.
undoubtedly. So.
What a good guy, man. I'm going to be in a ring nowhere near his, and it's going to bother me that I
It was
that
so
I,
funny. Last time he was here, he was judging chows, and I was walking by the ring, and he just stopped judging, came over, gave me a hug, went back to judging.
yeah, of course. Of course. You know what actually, and this is a true confession. When you get to a show like Orlando and there's 20, I don't know, 30 rings, uh, you can't, even though you're judging all day, you want to see, I wonder if I could. So you look and see, I'm in ring 16, in ring 17. This is great. I can peek over once in a while.
It's a mile away.
What's going on? But yeah,
the way they do the rings there, I remember I forget which one it was. You go to ring 5. Well, 6 has got to be there. The 6 is the other side of the building because it starts over.
exactly. And 16 and 17, I thought they'd be next to each other, because I do have a situation where might be pointers in the next ring in 17, and I'm in 16. I'm like, this will be great. 16 is nowhere near 17. It's off another block somewhere. But yeah, you need a map, and even with a map, it's hard to get around in there
Well,
unless
you figure it out after 2 or 3 days, and then,
yeah.
then you're almost ready to
You're
go
going
home.
home. Forget for next year. My big thing is remembering which door to leave from to get back to the hotel. Because if you got the wrong door, you're in trouble. You're never going to find your way home.
I always remember the coffee spots. Oh, there's one that's still, because they aren't all open first thing in the morning. Only a couple
Yeah.
are. So you
Yeah.
gotta get there, and
Mm-hmm.
might be right next to the ice cream stop.
I don't know about that. Jeez. Uh, do they have ice cream? I'm sure they do.
Oh, there's ice cream there. Yeah, I remember getting ice cream for the groups.
The last time you and I were there together, we had a fine lunch at the High Tops, the wrapped sandwiches from, the deli, and then you
Yeah.
picked your things off, and we had it's very nice.
Be careful what you eat.
You do. I have reservations for a couple of nice restaurants with some friends. That'll be fun. And it's almost funny. People call and go, "How's your dance card? Do you have a night where?" And then you realize, man, I really want to see them too.
Yeah.
Table for 43? No, I don't. I have a limit. 6 is pretty much my limit.
Oh, for sure. Remember when we were in Newfoundland, when we were downstairs, a table of 20 odd? It was too much. And I wanted to see everybody, but you couldn't see everybody. So it was just
That was
too much.
that was yeah, not good. I had dinner with 18 people last night, and a big long table. Let's all go out together. I talked to the person to my left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But Cheryl arranged it, so I went, and it's very nice time. Lovely. Very nice time. And then I get back home and I sat
They're
in the
not
chair.
listening. It's okay.
Then I got back home, sat in my chair, and fell asleep for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Had to wake up, should have wake me up to go to sleep. But all's well. Well, there's something we do want to talk about, Will.
Yeah, we do.
We've been doing this for I don't know,
100
over
odd episodes,
over 2 years, well over 100 episodes. And it's not easy doing this every week, because we have other things to do. And we've both gotten busier as the time has gone on, with it just so happens with different endeavors. And I have stuff outside of the dog show world that I do as well. And that all ties together, and times becomes more difficult, especially mutual times.
Right. It's hard to get the two of us. We can do it. Sometimes we can do it first thing in the morning, but
other times we can't. Yeah. So today is an afternoon one, and we don't do that very often. But also, we love doing this. Don't get us wrong, and we really appreciate the people who listen and comment. It's great. It's great.
Oh, I love it. Every show I'm at, someone says something. It's nice to hear.
It is, but we just can't do it every week anymore. So we're going to try to do it. We are going to do it every other week, and that'll give us a little more time. And also, it'll just help us be fresh every time. And
well, it's like part of the problem is when you're not getting paid to do something, it's hard to put aside time and take away time from something you are being paid for.
right.
So it's not that we want to sound like that, but it's true.
We've done it without sponsors for 2 years. We've done it on our own for 2 years and over 2 years, and that's including Doc, who puts this all together for us. So without sponsors, it's tough to carry on every week, as Will said, because there are endeavors we could do where we could be making money. And we didn't want to go into that. We didn't want to go into this making money, but after we do so many episodes, it's like, man, it's a little rough. So we'll be rolling back to every other week, and we hope that's okay. And we, again, really we just appreciate the audience. I don't think we have an enormous audience, but we sure have a passionate.
Yeah, we do.
We have a passionate audience who really wants to. Did you see them engaged and they get passionate about our topics, and that's good stuff. And we learn a lot back too, a whole lot back.
I just think I think for some of them it feels like they're having coffee with us.
Yeah. And I always feel like I'm having coffee with you. Who did I just see recently in person? And it was my son. Cheryl and I went down and visited our son last weekend in Baltimore, and it was like, hi, we FaceTime them every day. And when we saw him in person, it was like, man, there he is. I mean, we already know everything. So we look forward to this, just to visit with each other. And we may do that anyway. Maybe not on video.
And it won't be as long, probably. Well,
I don't know.
Just shoot messages to each other.
I don't know. We're pretty good at going long when it comes to talking about stuff.
Last week we would hurry. Yeah, 3 hours later.
Right. We don't have anything. Exactly. So bear with us and let us know what you think. Let us know what you feel and how that's going. And again, if you have any suggestions or if there's a sponsor out there that's interested, let us know. But I think it'll be keeping it fresh that way. We don't want to do the thing where we do them randomly, because you have to. Most podcasts, you know what the day they drop and you tune in, or at least you know when you can get a new one. So we don't want to do that and scramble it all around. So we'll try to keep on an every other Thursday as we do drop it now. I think. Is today Thursday, Will?
Today's Thursday. But it won't be dropped till tomorrow, though, Friday.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's how our week worked. But you'd think we were important or something, Will, with all the busy stuff we do. It's not like that. How do you go to hazmat and recycle batteries yesterday?
It just seems like I wake up and before you know it, it's time to go back to bed. It's like,
yeah, well, that's true because we're tired.
It is.
By the way, you look very dapper in the dark turtleneck there.
No, it's cold up here in Canada.
Yeah.
Canada, as Randy Kubas would say. Thinking about you, Randy. Hope you're doing okay. So.
Yeah, we are, Randy. We are thinking about you. And Anne Marie, believe it or not, she's never been there before, but I hear she's at Disney.
Oh,
yeah, and she goes often. She goes off more than any normal human being would go. But I know she's there because if you look at her Facebook post, there's 300 videos a day of Disney instead of the typical 200 days videos of Disney a week. So I hope you're having a good time down there, Anne-Marie, with your friend, and we know you appreciate it, and we sure appreciate you and all the work you've done for canine health. Speaking of
for sure.
Of those topics earlier on, so all that and more. Will, anything else, bud?
No, I think I have a few more things lined up for this afternoon, and I'll go do those.
Absolutely. There you have it. All that and less. Right here on the Dog Show Drive.
Okay, be safe driving to Orlando, guys, and we'll see you down the road. Wayne will see you there.
Party on, Greg.
No way.
Better be paying attention, Doc.
Thanks, Will.
So Ernie can use this in the blooper reel.
That's right. We love you, Ernie.
Don't put that in, Ernie.
taking yourself so damn seriously.
I'm gonna roll
Dude.
Some extraordinary data things that are being done around the world.
Thanks, Ernie.
We didn't mention hockey either. Isn't that unbelievable? Put that in, Doc.
Yeah, they let us see it in a blueprint. This is good. We're going to be here in a second, Wiener.
Don't lose it, Doc.
Hot.
Use that one, Doc.
Don't use that one, Doc.